Teaching aptitude. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin. Warren Hastings established the Calcutta Madrasa in 1781 for the teaching of Muslim law. In 1791, a Sanskrit college was started in Varanasi by Jonathan for the study of Hindu philosophy and laws. The Fort William College was set up by Lord Wellesley in 1800 for the training of the civil servants. William Jones founded Asiatic Society, Bengal in 1784. Next, development of education during British period in India. Development of education during British period in India. The Charter Act. The Charter Act 1800 1813 and the education. The Charter Act of 1813 was the first step toward education being made an objective of the government. The act sanctioned a sum of 1 lakh rupees towards the education of Indians in British ruled India. And the third point for the Charter Act in 1813 is with the efforts of RRM Rajaram Mohan Roy, the Calcutta College was established for imparting Western education. Second point is Lord Macaulay Education Policy 1835. Persian was abolished as the court language and English became the court language. English education was allotted more funds as compared to Oriental learning. In 1849, J.E.D. Bethune founded Bethune School. And the fourth point is Agriculture Institute was established at Pusa, Bihar. Engineering Institute was established at Roorkee. In 1835, the Elphinstone College, Bombay, and Calcutta Medical College were established in 1835. Third point is Wood's Dispatch 1854. Sir Charles Wood was a president of the board of control of the company in 1854 when he sent a dispatch to the Governor General of India, Lord Dalhousie. Wood's dispatch is considered as the Magna Carta of English education in India. Recommendations of the Wood's dispatch. First point. It states the responsibility of the state for the spread of education to the masses. It recommended the hierarchy education level at the bottom, vernacular primary school at district, Anglo vernacular high school, and affiliated college and affiliated universities of Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras Presidency. And the third point recommended English as a medium of instruction for higher studies and vernacular at school level. Fourth point is education of women should be emphasized. And the fifth point is Wood dispatch on education proposed for the establishment of 3 universities. What are the 3 universities? Are Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. On the model of London University was set up by 1857. University of Punjab 1882, University of Allahabad 1887. Fourth development of education during British period is Hunter Commission in 1882 to 1883. Lord Ripon appointed the first Indian Education Commission on February 3rd, 1882. Lord Ripon. appointed the first Indian Education Commission on 3rd February 1882. The commission, also called Hunter Commission. Number 1. Hunter Commission was formed to evaluate the achievements of Wood Dispatch of 1854 under W. W. Hunter in 1882. It means Hunter Commission is the evolution of achievement of the Wood Dispatch of 1854. Second point is it underlined the state's role in the extension and improvement of primary education and secondary education. It means it point out the state role in the primary education and the secondary education. Third point is it recommended two division of secondary education. First is literary up to university and vocational for commercial career. Fifth development in education during British period is the Indian Universities Act 1904. The act increased university control over private colleges by laying down stringent conditions of affiliation. Next is Sadler Commission 1917. It was formed to study on the problems of Calcutta University and their recommendations were applicable to other universities also. It means the Sadler Commission, which is in 1917, is Sadler Commission formed because of the enlightened and focused on the problems of Calcutta universities, and the problems should be recommended and applicable to other universities. And the problems and observations from the Calcutta universities are as follows. Number 1 is 12-year school course. Number 2 is 3-year degree after the intermediate stage. And number 3 is centralized functioning of universities, unitary residential teaching autonomous body. And the fourth point is recommended extended facilities for applied scientific and technological education, teachers training and female education. It means the four observations are considered in the in the problems of Calcutta universities, and these are the observations and the learning from the Calcutta universities in Sadler Commission 1917. Seventh is Varda scheme of basic education. The main principle of basic education, better known as Varda scheme. Basic education is better known as Varda scheme, is learning through activity. Varda scheme is learning through activities. The Zakir Hussain committee worked out the details of the scheme and prepared detailed syllabus for a number of crafts. Next is Sergeant Plan of Education. This plan envisaged the establishment of elementary schools. It means this plan, Sergeant Plan of Education, is envisaged an establishment of elementary schools, high schools, junior and senior basic schools. And Sergeant Plan of Education introduces universal, free and compulsory education for children between the age of 6 to 14 years. It means the universal, free, and compulsory education for children between the age of 6 to 14 is under the Sergeant Plan of Education. It means we have studied the development of education during British period in India. Number 1 is Charter Act of 1813 and the education. Number 2 is Lord Macaulay's education policy 1835. Number 3 is Wood's dispatch 1854. Number 4 is Hunter Commission 1882 to 83. And number 5 is the Indian Universities Act 1904. Number 6 is Sadler Commission 1917. And number 7 is Varda Scheme of Basic Education. And number 8 is Sergeant Plan of Education. These are the development in education in the British period. It means pre-independence time, pre-independence period. And the most important question will be and should be raised is first university of India is Calcutta University. Calcutta University in 1781, and it is established by Warren Hastings. And this Calcutta University is university for the teaching of Muslim law. And the second is in 1791. It means after 10 years, Sanskrit College was started in Varanasi by what? Jonathan Duncan. And it is the Hindu philosophy and law, study of Hindu philosophy and law. And step by step, there's so many development are occur in the education, in the field of education during British period in India. Now we are going towards the post-independent development in education, in Indian education. Policy framework on education post-independent India. It means after the independence, there are so many frameworks and the plan and development in education. Policy framework on education post independent India. Number one is commission after post independent period. Commission number one, University Education Commission 1948 to 49. University Education Commission. Government of India set up University Education Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan in 1948. It means after the independence in 1948 to 49, University Education Commission is coming, and in the government of India set up the University Education Commission, and it is under the chairmanship of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, which is in 1948. And the second development is Secondary Education Commission. Secondary Education Commission was established under the chairmanship of Dr. A.L. Modelier, and in the 1961 is the establishment of NCERT. In 1961 is the establishment of NCERT, National Council of Education Research and Training, was established on 1961 for the development of school education. And the fourth development after post independence is the Education Commission 1964 to 69. Professor D.S. Kothari was the chairman of the Education Commission at that time in the 1964 to 66. ठीक है, under whose name it was as named as Kothari Commission. This Education Commission, which is in 1964, is also known as Kothari Commission because the chairman is Professor D.S. Kothari. The commission studied various aspects of the teacher education in details and observed that a sound program of professional education of teachers. Kothari Commission Kothari Commission formulated tri-language system. Number one is national language, mother language, and any foreign language. It means if the question is raised as a tri-language system, which is a tri-language system commission, is a Kothari Commission, is a Education Commission of 1964 to 69. We can remember by the date, by the year of the commission, which is 1964 to 66. And the fifth development is also Indian Association of Teacher Education IATE, and the sixth development occur National Policy on Education NPE, National Policy on Education, 1968. National Policy on Education in 1968 was established under the chairman of Sri Ganga Sharan Sinha. And the seventh point is the National Council for Teacher Education, NCTE, 1993. The National Council for Teacher Education was established to work as a national advisory body for teacher education. जो नेशनल काउंसिल फॉर टीचर एजुकेशन है, NCT, वो इस्टेब्लिश हुई किस चीज़ के लिए? एज ए नेशनल एडवाइजरी बॉडी के लिए टीचर एजुकेशन में। एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या था? टू अचीव planned and coordinated development of teacher education system throughout the country. It means the development of teacher is the main objective of this commission, National Council for Teacher Education. It means to skill the teacher, to test the teacher, to uh, development of the teacher to teach a subject in a whole country, throughout the country. This NCTE is aim. Eighth point is National Commission on Teachers, NCTE, 1983 to 1985. Dr. D.P. Chattopadhyay was the chairman of National Commission on Teachers. National, and the ninth point is National Policy on Teachers Education, 1986. National Policy on Teachers Education was adopted by Parliament in May 1986. National Council of Teacher Education, 1993, is a 10th point. The Government of India. The Government of India established the National Council of Teacher Education, NCTE, a statutory body by an Act of Parliament, NCTE Act 73 1993 in 1995. And the objective of National Council of Teacher Education, NCTE, is achieving planned and coordinated development of teacher education system in the country. 11th point is Hartog Commission was appointed in 1928 and emphasized on primary education. It is focused it's focused on primary education. Is the Hartog Commission, which is in 1928. And the 12th point is Radha Krishna Commission. Radha Krishna Commission on Education was appointed to report on university education. It means it's focused on university education. Radhakrishna Commission was recommended for the setting up of a University Grant Commission, UGC. Radhakrishna Commission focused on the setting up of the UGC, University Grant Commission. Now we are coming in the present time and the new education policy 2020, the national education policy 2020, and so many questions raised from our education policy, such as the new education policy. What is the new education policy? The new policy replaces the previous national policy on education, which is comes in 1986. You can see in our list, which is number 9, National Policy on Teacher Education, which is adopted in May 1986 by the Parliament in India. National Policy on Teacher Education. Now we are come in new education policy in 2020. The first point is the new policy replaces the previous policy. Previous national policy on education, were which was come in 1986. The policy aims to transform India's education system by 2021, and the new education policies aim is transforms India's education. Okay, Himachal Pradesh has become the first state to implement new education policy 2020. It means the Himachal Pradesh is the first state which accept the new education policy 2020. Okay, and the next point is school education. School education, the 10 plus 2 structure will be replaced with 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 model. It means that in our previous education policy is a 10 plus 2 structure, but in our new education policy 2020 is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 model. This will be implemented as follows, and the stages are also named, such as the foundational stage. Number one is foundational stage. This is further subdivided into two parts. As you can see, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, and these are the four stages. Okay, and these have a name, such as 5 year is a foundational stage. Number 2 is 3 year, which is preparatory stage. नेक्स्ट नंबर 3, जो 3 नंबर है, मिडल स्टेज, एंड द फाइनल इज 4 is a secondary stage. As the first 5 year is a foundational stage. This is further subdivided into two parts. As you can see, number 1 is 3 years of preschool, followed by classes 1 to 3, 1 to 2 in primary school, and this will cover children of age 3 to 8 years. It means this stage children is 3 to 8 years old. It means the student of 3 to 8 years is under the foundational stage. Okay, which is 1 to 2 class. Now is second point. Second point, it means next 3 year. 3 year is a preparatory stage, class 3, 4, 5, which will cover the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11. It means 8 to 11 years old student is under the preparatory stage. And the third point is middle age. Next 3, middle age, class 6, 7, 8, covering children between the age of 11 to 14 years is under the middle age. And the last point and last stage is secondary stage, class 9, 10, 11, 12, 9 to 12, covering the age of 14 to 19 years old student is under the stage of secondary stage. And this is called 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 model, which is replace a previous education policy framework 10 plus 2 structure. And after the 12th class, and it means after 19 years old student is going to the higher studies, higher education, and it is purposes of 4 year multidisciplinary bachelor's degree in an undergraduate program, which is undergraduate program, UG program in higher education. And next is MPhil, Master of Philosophy courses are to be discontinued. It means the MPhil course is discontinued and removed. And the National Testing Agency (NTA) will now be given the additional responsibility of conducting entrance examinations for admission to universities across the country. It means the if some student want to take an admission in the college in higher education UG courses, then the National Testing Agency take the entrance test of that student to give an admission, to achieve an admission in the undergraduate course of in the college of in our country. This is the extra responsibility will be given to the National Testing Agency NTA to conducting the entrance examination for the admission in the UG courses. Now some extra points are there, such as the modern education was started in India in 1857. It means in 1857 is the year when the modern education started in our India, in our country, when the first three universities, Bombay, Calcutta and Madras, were established from the 1857. Number 2, Calcutta University is the first Indian university in India. Calcutta University is the first university in India, Calcutta University, and the establishment will be done by the hand of Warren Hastings, and the Calcutta University is focused on the Muslim for teaching Muslim laws in 1781 Calcutta Madrasa, and the national policy on education was implemented in 1987. National education policy, first national education policy is implemented in 1987. Okay, and universities grant commission UGC was set up in 1953. Is a revision. Okay, in the UGC होते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन was set up in 1953. 1953, you have to remember UGC. Okay, UGC. And the Central Board of Secondary Education was established in 1929. National Council for Teacher Education NCTE was established in 1995. National Council of Education Research and Training NCRT established in 1961. Indian Institute of Natural Resins and Gums IINRG is in Namkumrachi. And the most important thing is right to free and compulsory education until of 14 years old become a fundamental right by 93rd constitutional amendment in 1993. It is mentioned in article 21 of the constitution. Okay, this is very most important, and and the question is raised from this point: is a right to free and compulsory education until the age of 14 years became a fundamental right in the 93rd amendment of the constitution, okay, in 1993, and it is become a fundamental right in article 21A in the constitution. And the midday meal scheme is started in 15 August 1995. Midday meal scheme launched in 15 August 1995, and the Macaulay system of education 1935 is called the infiltration theory of education. Macaulay system of education is also known as the infiltration theory of education. Lord Macaulay said that single shelf of good European library, and it means a single shelf of good European library was the what? The whole native literature of India and Arabia. And Mahatma Gandhi raised the slogan, each one teach one. These are the important points which should be remembered. And the first Institute of Technology was set up in 1952 in Kharagpur. Now some scholars, John Dewey, Jean Piaget, William James, Jean Jacques Rousseau, Maria Montessori और लेव वाइगोट्स्की, ये सब स्कॉलर्स हैं भाई. जॉन डिवी was an American philosopher who was a founder of philosophical movement known as pragmatism. Jean Piaget is another scholar. Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development suggests that children move through four different stages of mental development. And the third scholar is William James, the father of functionalism. and Vygotsky, known for his work on psychological development in children. Now we come to the last topic is the characteristics of a great teacher. A great teacher respects student. A great teacher respects students. A great teacher creates a sense of community and belonging in classroom. A great teacher is warm, accessible, and enthusiastic and caring. A great teacher sets high expectations for all students. A great teacher sets high expectations for all students. A great teacher has his own love of learning and inspires students with his passion for education. A great teacher is a skilled leader. A great teacher can shift gears and is flexible when a lesson isn't working. A great teacher collaborates with colleagues on an ongoing basis. A great teacher maintains professionalism in all areas. In short, a great teacher always follow acknowledge, respect and appreciation. These are the characteristics of a great teacher.